Greetings, my human friends. This is Rudolf of Germany, the tall white alien, on the 18th of April 2017. Cloning. How often did I speak of cloning? Which is an art, particularly when it comes to the cloning of human beings. An art we, the tall white aliens, have perfected over many thousands of years. But a human clone can always have some side effects, and very rarely does a clone resemble to the hair its original. There we are already coming to the problem which occurred with Donald Trump, the American president, which has been cloned about 3.5 weeks after he became the President of the United States. I have been speaking in previous videos about that fact, and I also spoke about some fallouts of his mental capacities which are programmed in advance. For example, when he refused a handshake with Mrs. Merkel, the German Chancellor. Here we have another example of a fallout which can prove to even the ones who try to put aside the prospect and the possibility of cloning altogether. The American anthem was played. He was standing with his family on a balcony, and he just did not react at all until he got touched by the hand of his lovely wife. A clone rarely functions perfectly, and at the most unexpected moments, there you can see that you don't deal with a regular human being. Besides that, of course, a clone has a brain. Even if the brain has been chipped and being influenced, the brain is the most sensitive part of a human when it comes to the cloning operation. In the case of Donald Trump, and this is an insider information which I'm giving you again here for the first time, inside of the brain of Donald Trump, there have been very fine flaws detected in the aftermath of the cloning. The onset of a disease, which is also known to uncloned or the non-cloned human, which is called Alzheimer. Yes, I am in the sad position to disclose to you that the President of the United States, Donald Trump, is suffering, his clone, of course, not the original, which is being safely stored away. The clone is suffering under the disease of Alzheimer's. And this can also be not only be detected by the missing hand on his heart during the American anthem, but also during situations before. For example, and this is another good example, this clone of Donald Trump has no short-term memory at all. He does not know about the original, promising the American voters and his fellowship that he will abandon the idea of intervention of American troops and interest in countries around the world, but will withdraw to the American mainland and homeland and solve problems there for the American people. This clone, which you are looking at when you see Donald Trump, let's say in a TV screen, has no memory at all of the promises of the original. because he is being led by a deep state computer which is being linked to the military, and this computer is showing him the path to follow into a war-like scenario around the world by randomly, you can almost say, dropping bombs and devices on different countries in order to test out the reaction. And this gives the pretext for the American military industrial complex and its generals, which are the ones who are ordering new weapons to get into many different conflicts and wars. The clone of Donald Trump has absolutely, as I said, no memory of Donald Trump, the original, and his promises before. This is the sad truth. We can call it the Alzheimer onset. It's a disease of the brain, as you all know. It deteriorates over time. The same has been the cloning results of another former president, Ronald Reagan, who was also cloned and had after a while developed this kind of condition. So, do not wonder about the reactions of the clone of Donald Trump also in the future. It is just a flaw in his mind. He is not responsible for it. His memory has been basically wiped out, and he just functions as this rather vicious group behind him is ordering him, not regarding at all the status of the presidency, the image of Donald Trump, which of course is being blemished by this kind of behavior, but they just push their agenda, which they love to have pushed before with Mrs. Clinton. Okay, this is the information for today. Donald Trump's clone is suffering under the onset of Alzheimer's disease. Rudolf of Germany.